Oh, we are back, and we are about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks away from the shows at Madison Square Garden. We are going back to Madison Square Garden today, January 1st, 2011. I have been thinking and saying and even typing 1/11/11. It's 1/1/11. Very tricky date for channel member SE. And it started, and look, again, here's the disclaimer. I know some of you, I can feel you rolling your eyes already, like Dan Z and Spud and Matt, like, uh-oh, here we go, 2011 and 12. He's going to tell us how he wasn't really into the band then, and he didn't hear a lot of these shows. Well, it's just because from the time I discovered the band up until like late 2010, my entire personality was pretty much Phish. Listen to Phish, watch Phish, talk to people about Phish, read stuff about Phish, buy Phish merch. And then at the end of 2010, it all just like, as my friends all went their separate ways, I wasn't really loving the shows. And then 11, 12, and most of 13 comes, and I was just completely out. And then 14 comes, I go to a show, and then all of a sudden I'm like YouTube guy. So it's just very crazy to me that like Phish has been such a big part of my life. And then for 2 years, I was just like completely out. 2.5 years. I probably listened to about 5 hours total in that time. So enough with that. This was one of the shows that I missed, and on paper it looks really good. The rating looks really good, and then I'm listening to it. I'm like, My Soul and Tube. Okay, kind of a meh start. I mean, in the Tube, under 5 minutes, almost seems like it's illegal. A solid runaway gem, but nothing special. Into a foam that certainly wasn't anything special. You know, not the cleanest foam. So I'm sort of scratching my head thinking like 2011, the standards must have been really low because if this was one of the best shows of the year, this is not very good so far. And then I had spoke too soon because after the foam, Gula Papyrus was very cool. This was probably around the time when Trey, I think in an interview one time, said it was like one of his favorite songs. So maybe that started to kickstart it. But if not, that didn't. Divided Sky certainly did. They were like, okay, enough of these like foam type of songs. Let's just rock out. And then they played Round Room, which I gotta say, for as a person who's like sometimes rooting for a Round Room at MSG, it's not a very good song. I didn't really like it actually. I don't know when's the last time I listened to a live Round Room, but maybe they're making the right call by not playing that every year at MSG or something. So then we just go on full blown rock and roll for Walk Away. And I mean, just a lot of Guitar Hero, really. From here on out, a lot of that throughout the show. And then got a Jibboo and Reba back to back. That's a perfect combo, you know, for songs that have just sort of a jam built into the song that's essentially going to be very similar every time, with little subtle differences, of course. And then they both kill it again this time. I just thought that was so cool that they were back to back. And then a Walls of the Cave, big arena rock ender, you know, could have ended it with that Reba. That was a very strong end. Walk Away, Jibboo, Reba. So if the first half of the set was like a 3, then from Walk Away to Walls of the Cave was more like a 5, all right? So then we get started with Crosseyed and Painless, pretty much just right to the edge of Type 1, too, just kind of rocking out, man. I mean, this became a big rock show at some point after that Divided Sky, even during that Divided Sky, really. It's not like that ending's not rock and roll. And then you get Twist, again, it didn't really get too deep, really. Nothing did. Simple. Even the Sneakin Salley, maybe. Oh, there was this moment in Sneakin Salley, and there's a lot of video here on YouTube of this show. Listen to a lot of it on the Live Phish app. Did a little bit both, too. Second disclaimer, listen to the first part of the show yesterday, and then the second part today. It's possible, like, where I was at, you know? I don't know. I just don't think the first part of the show was very good, and then they really stepped it up and went to, like, an 11. And what I was saying, though, on YouTube, there's this one part in Sneakin Salley. I was like, whoa. I had to, like, rewind and listen. Then I realized you see the little indicator on the YouTube, whatever, you know, the minute marker. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of just see where are, like, popular points in the video. And I was not the only one to rewind and listen to that because the view duration totally spiked right at that moment in Sneakin Salley. And just super funky for 2011, really bringing it. And then into a Makisupa that was a bit extended. I believe Trey said, went home last night after the New Year's stunt and rolled myself a blunt. You know, he could have rhymed gag and bag, I suppose, but. Or are we calling it a stunt now? I'm calling it a stunt from now on. No, gag is out. Stunt and blunt. And then ending with a big, powerful David Bowie. Cut a bit short, though. Felt like if the Divided Sky was a bit extended, the Bowie a bit short. But doing its thing, and probably not flawless. I feel like there was one part in there where I kind of gave my speaker a weird look, but mostly good. And then Fee and Frankenstein ending the show as an encore. FF. Double Fs. So overall, I guess I got to say, at the beginning, I was a little bit like, "What is going on, man?" My thought was, "Wow, if this is a 4.5-star show, 2011 must have been really weak, and people just like any show that had any hope or any signs of something got 5 stars." All right, so to recap, we better not. I'm out of here. Boom, Southeast, thank you. Got some shows coming up. Got a big week in November of 97. Got a November of 96 show coming. What else we got? We got a 2010 show in there. Yeah. January or October 30th. In fact, I'll probably do that one next and then do the 94 show, and then we'll hit 97 and 96. Boom. Sorry, a little out of order, but I'll show you out of order.